when it goes.
That's why I like to usually drink a little more because I get real stupid early and I like it.
You get confident.
That's a better way to put it.
I like it.
It's not that you're drinking and becoming stupid. You're becoming confident. I guess we'll go ahead and jump right in. Weekend Trav. It is episode 76, weighing in with Travis Hartman. I'm B-Money, the producer. That over there is Weekend Trav. New studio, who dis?
New studio, who dis?
Well, it's still a work in progress. We're getting there, folks, as you can tell.
We got some new stuff, though.
Got some new stuff.
You check out our Instagram. I did a quick little video of that. You can see the new stuff.
New stuff.
The newness.
We're going to get a new table. We got all sorts of stuff happening here.
Me and B-Money are going to do a trip to IKEA.
Oh, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. We're going to register like we're a couple waiting to get married.
Should we start something on our page, though? Maybe we can get a GoFundMe to donate to our table.
We're going to start an OnlyFans page? No. So Weekend Trav. I'm digressing a little bit here, but yeah, we're looking for a white table, newer chairs. We're getting it all together. We're slowly but surely, after 2 years,
it's only took us about 2 years.
It's about 2 years.
Actually, we only have 75 episodes, so it's like a year and a half.
We missed a few weeks. There was a COVID thing. There was a travel stuff.
We don't talk about those weeks.
Well, it seems to me that stuff is in the rearview mirror for the world as all these regulations come down. We'll get there. We don't need to be shadow banned right from the start of the episode. Weekend Trav, episode 76. Thank you to our media partners, IF Enterprises, Gulfstream Financial, and TH Boxing. But Weekend Trav, I could talk all day long, but the folks listening at home, the tens and tens of followers we have, want to hear the fallout thoughts from Errol Spence taking on Yordenis Ugas over the weekend, with Errol Spence taking home the 10th round TKO victory. Tell me about it. Tell me what's next.
Why has it got to be fallout? There was no fallout. There was some fall in. It was awesome. It was
All right.
literally awesome. And I got to give you credit off the bat. B-Money placed a bet. B-Money, we're texting back and forth, and he's like, oh my gosh, I wish you could have won a couple rounds because then my bet would have been right. I was like, what do you mean? It was the 10th round. And he goes, wait, what? I picked the 10th round. I was like, no, you didn't. He sends me his bet slip. He picked the 10th round and pretty much paid for our liquor for the next couple of episodes.
Which works. In typical gambling fashion, Weekend Trav, I look at it and I'm like, why didn't I put more? Why didn't I put more? Because I chose Errol Spence taking him down in the 10th round. It was I think like a what was it, 1,600. I mean, I was like, I bet $10 and made $160. So
not bad.
Not bad for in a day's work.
Anytime you take money from the bookies, I'm happy.
Well, I think I more or less just took your money.
This is probably true because I bet 80 on Ugas winning and 20 on a draw, and I lost it. The odds were good, and I think everybody who knows anything about boxing was like, you know what? Ugas is a live underdog, and he gave me some vibes like the Kambosos versus Lopez fight. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw $100 at it.
Well, listen, to get right into the match, the first couple of rounds, he was definitely in it. I mean, they were kind of going back and forth. It was almost, Spence would win around, then Ugas would win around. And they kept going back and forth a bit. It was a very interesting fight throughout until we saw the injury happen. So just walk us through from your perspective as a boxer, so put the boxer hat on, but then also give me the coach hat on if you're in the corner of Ugas. Yeah. Kind of walk me through the progression of that fight through the end.
I think early on it was a close competitive fight, but I still only gave Ugas one round, I think through 5. I only gave him one round, but very competitive. But then the 6th round, he had a big round. He ended up knocked Errol Spence's mouthpiece out, knocked him against the ropes, and I think the referee missed one there, Lawrence Cole, because when he fell into the ropes and the ropes caught him and held him up, legally, and the rules are, if the ropes hold a guy up, it's considered a knockdown. The referee kind of missed that in Ugas' favor. However, it doesn't change the fight. Like, the fight still ends the way it does. Doesn't matter. It would have just been extra points for Ugas. But, yeah, Ugas, the good thing about Ugas, though, when he was fighting, it ended up being his right eye. And he's a right-hander, so his right eye was the one that was swollen. So his lead eye was still good. So I thought going into the 6th, 7th, 8th round, I was like, you know what? His right eye is pretty swollen, but his lead eye is his left eye. I was like, I thought he was going to be okay. I thought he could have kept going. To be fair, he wanted to keep going. He never once acted like he didn't want to keep going. So the 6th round, he had a really good round. 7th round came out. It started to kind of start turning even more and more in favor of Errol Spence. And then the 8th round came, and I think the doctor actually jumped in the 8th round. The referee actually pulled him aside and let the doctor mid-round look at Ugas's eye, and it was bad. Ugas was trying to open his eye, and it was just close.
Yeah.
Like he literally, his other eye was like really far open, and he was just like opened it as much as he could, but he was like, I'm good. And kept telling the doctor, I'm good. And the doctor was like, I don't really think you're good, but I'm going to give you a chance. And it was the 8th round, and he let him go. And then he finishes the 8th round. He goes back to the corner. They do some work on it. The 9th round comes out, and you can just see Ugas. He wasn't the same after that at all. He was more on the defensive. He was in a shell. He wasn't doing anything.
When you look at the shots landed, the first few rounds, it was pretty balanced, I would say, between the two.
It was competitive at that point.
And then it got lopsided. Once Ugas had to go in defense mode, the numbers just look lopsided. When you look at the final CompuStat numbers, it's just wildly in the swing of Errol Spence, which kind of puts together that whole storyline of, ooh, yes, it's setting it up for such a big fight. But we don't want to discredit Ugas, because if that orbital bone fracture, whatever it was specifically, didn't happen, it could be this could have gone the whole way. This could have gone to a decision. I know. So in pure honesty, I did have another bet in. I put a little bet in on Ugas for a decision victory.
Yeah.
Just to hedge myself a little bit.
The odds were really good.
But you know me, I did little pieces.
Yeah.
I think I threw like $20 at it. It wasn't anything.
It's the financial advisor in you. You're just playing the numbers game at that point.
I hedged myself, but ultimately I made money, so I'm happy. So I would say the fight itself, even though Spence was probably fairly winning before the fracture or whatever the injury was.
He was winning.
It still was a pretty solid outing
And
between the two of them.
It was a spirited fight. It wasn't a one-sided fight, and that's what we don't like, the one-sided fights, and it wasn't. It was very competitive. Ugas, I think every round he was still in the fight. And honestly, when Ugas was jabbing and moving, jabbing up, jabbing down, and moving in that first couple of rounds, he did phenomenal. But he started staying right in front of Errol Spence, and he can punch. Spence can punch up, down, up, down.
Oh, of course.
And just started wearing on him. So that's the thing, though. The orbital bone, it doesn't really. He fractured it, but Spence fractured that. So it doesn't matter that it was a fracture. Obviously, Spence caused that damage.
Yes.
So that's why everybody, you can't. And Ugas, by the way, has not made one excuse. He goes, he beat me.
Yeah.
Period. He goes,
Yeah.
fracture my orbital bone. I wasn't the same after that. He goes, but he beat me.
Yeah.
Period. That's the point of boxing. It's who can do as much damage as the other person. That means sometimes hurting people, and Spence hurt him more, damaged him, broke his orbital bone, changed the fight. That just shows you how big of a puncher that Spence is.
Yep.
Even though he didn't knock him out, but he's that puncher that can just punch on you for 10, 11, 12 rounds. Who can take that? 28 people have tried, 28 people have failed when Errol Spence pounds them like that.
Yeah. He needed a victory like that. At the very least, a stoppage of some sort for the conversation to continue to what could be the next fight coming up for him, which is against Terence Crawford. Hopefully.
Yep.
He needed that kind of a victory.
He did.
And the irony being that, basically won a TKO with the eye injury of his opponent off of him coming off a couple years ago. Eye injury, detached retina.
Yep.
So great for him. Errol Spence, he made a statement. And a great statement he did, and I think the statement victory over Yordenis Ugas made a lot of sense. So why I say fallout is this weekend, Trav. Once he wins, you start seeing a lot of people start throwing their name in the hat.
Immediately.
So talk to me about that a little bit. We all know everyone wants to see Terence Crawford.
Yep.
But throw the other names being thrown out. Talk to me through some of that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everyone wants to throw their hat in that ring because Errol Spence is a moneymaker right now. He's the cash cow of the 147-pound division because now he owns 3 of the 4 major belts, period. He owns 3 of the 4 major belts. So essentially, he's the man right now, period. Even though Terence Crawford, in a lot of rankings, like the BoxRec ranking, Terence Crawford is still ranked 1, Errol Spence is 2 in their official rankings as well. Their rankings don't really matter on the big-time scene, but they matter a little bit still. But Terence Crawford's also a world champion. But right now, everybody's trying to fight Errol Spence. Virgil Ortiz with Oscar De La Hoya. There's a ton of people that want to fight Errol. Why wouldn't you? The guy has 3 belts. If you ever get a chance to fight for 3 belts, you take it. You even take less money to attempt to, because that's history. Most people never unify titles. And when you own more than 1 title, you're considered a unified champion. Well, Spence has 3.
Yep.
So guess what? The only fight that I care to even talk about and that needs to happen is the guy who owns the 4th belt. There's only 4 belts that matter in all of boxing. And guess who owns the other one? Terence Crawford.
And
a guy who is now a free agent.
And it's interesting because it's very telling with both of those boxers, both Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, within moments, maybe an hour, minutes of that victory, they both were starting it up.
Yep.
So that tells you where Errol Spence's focus is. That tells you where Terence Crawford's focus is. Who cares about Virgil Ortiz? Who cares about these other type of fights?
Cares.
You know,
At
maybe
this point.
Oscar De La Hoya does, of course, because he wants to throw his name out there and try to get something going because his golden boy looks like a pussycat out there with Ryan Garcia. We don't want to talk about him right now.
To be fair, though, Oscar De La Hoya did also say that he would broker the deal with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence for free. He did say that first, actually.
It ain't for free because whatever it is, maybe he wants cocaine money, cocaine, like poundage of cocaine. So and
maybe he's trying to lure Crawford over to sign because Crawford hasn't signed with anybody since leaving Top Rank. So maybe he's trying to, hey, I'll do it for free for now, but I know that you're going to win. By the way, I still stick with my prediction. I made it a year or 2 ago on our episodes. If they ever fought, I still think Crawford beats Errol Spence.
I think that would be the going favorite pick right now. Probably decision victory, Crawford, Errol Spence. If the fight was to happen and they're both healthy tomorrow, I would think that's probably the outcome, right? So we'll see. But that's what the fans want.
Errol Spence is 28-0. Terence Crawford is 38-0. Mm-hmm. Errol owns 3 of the belts. Mm-hmm. Crawford owns 1 of the belts for the top 4 major belts in the world. And they're both Americans, by the way. No offense. But
we have a guest in studio, so that's why Weekend Trav makes a little comment and looks off from the camera.
But so it should happen. It's the welterweights. This fight would be probably one of the biggest welterweight fights that we've seen in a really long time. I mean, we're going all the way back to like Hagler, Hearns, Sugar Leonard, all of those guys, Leonard, all those 147-pound welterweights, and then up those guys. This is about where we're at. Those 2 guys, I think Errol Spence and Terence Crawford are one of the only welterweights right now, at least, that I feel like could compete against some of the throwbacks. I'm not saying beat, but compete.
You want a prediction? End of the year bash. We're going to round out this solid year of boxing, and that is the capper on it. At the end of the year, maybe it's the last week, maybe it's between Christmas and New Year's, maybe it is on New Year's. I don't know. I don't know what day that is of the week. That is it. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. That will sell. That's going to be 100%. A solid matchup. I don't care about these.
Sells out. He sells arenas. They had this fight at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Plus, it was pay-per-view. The guy sells.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford, so far being promoted by Bob Arum, he doesn't sell. But also, I think that was because of his promoter. Sorry, Bob. Bob, you've given us a lot of fights. You've given us a lot of fighters. You've given us a lot of greats, a lot of Hall of Famers. But you failed Terence Crawford, in my opinion, on promoting him. Because he is, in my opinion, has been, he's the best in the world. He was the Ring magazine, which is the most coveted title because there's no belt or sanctioning body. That's just people, experts, vote on that. And Terence Crawford was the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world for a good amount of time until he was inactive. And then Canelo took it over. And I was a big-time Crawford fan. You know that on the show I was.
Absolutely.
But I also said no. Canelo is the number 1 pound-for-pound now because of his activity, because of how he's beating people, and because of who he is and what he's doing, and he's doing great.
So definitely a lot of fun stuff coming up in that weight division, but we want to move on, Weekend Trav. We can talk about those 2 for quite a while, and we're going to. As the year progresses, we're going to talk about both Terence Crawford, both Errol Spence, I keep saying both, Canelo Alvarez, which fights on Cinco de Mayo either that day or that weekend.
Yeah, he fights on DAZN against Bivol.
But what we want to talk about now, we're going to switch gears a little bit. And we're going to talk heavyweight bout in England, in Wembley, Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte.
The Gypsy King.
Let's talk about that. That's coming this Saturday. April 23rd.
Don't you feel like it kind of snuck up on us?
It really did. Now, folks, keep in mind that's in England, so that these fights are going to be earlier in the day. Okay, I think the main card starts at 11. Maybe not. Maybe the full card starts at 11. But you can probably see these guys in the ring 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that, on Saturday. That's DAZN, correct?
Yep.
So that'll be on DAZN.
Oh, no.
No, it's
Tyson
not.
Fury fight is
That's right.
It's ESPN Plus.
That's right. ESPN Plus pay-per-view.
That's right, yep.
So keep that in mind. If you were looking to check this fight out, don't flip on ESPN Plus around 11 o'clock at night. You're going to be watching a replay. It might be discounted.
Yes, remember, because England is, 5-6 hours ahead of us. I think it's 5 or 6. I forget.
I don't know. Either way,
Something.
Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte.
5 hours. They're
5
5
hours. So thank you.
We even told our fact checker that's here in the building. We now have a fact checker.
This is the big thing. We're
now
going big time.
We're big time right now.
Big
I'm
time.
just saying. Dietrich is our fact checker for at least a week or two. We don't know. So, but he's told us already. He's checked. He's on his computer. He's like doing these little stats right now. He told us.
We're buying time right now.
He said England is 5 hours ahead.
So we can, Trav.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk Fury Whyte.
Fury, Dillian Whyte. Can I reiterate my fun stat about Dillian Whyte?
Yes.
Dillian Whyte became a father at 13 years old. He fathered a child at 13 years old. But everybody asks me this. They're like, well, how old was the mother? I don't know that, and I can't find it anywhere. But I do know for a fact he's like the 20-something in the world youngest fathers.
Whenever you say
it's a fun fact.
You can't say for a fact and say something.
Well, I know it's in the 20s. It's like 23rd or 24th.
Okay.
It's something like that. But I don't want the fact checkers to come out and tell me like, oh my God, you said an exact number. You're wrong. But I do know it's in the 20s.
Okay.
But I just have been drinking a little too much bourbon probably.
Okay.
So it slipped my mind the exact number.
Which we are finishing up, finally, this Woodson bourbon whiskey. We've given our rankings in a prior episode, so we're not going to do that today. But it is very delicious. We like it. And, folks, look we're almost out, really.
Yeah.
So, we're 4 hours. We're 13 hours difference.
He was 13 years old.
He was 13
I
years
told you
old.
I was right on that one. I had that one.
I see a number being
Fact
thrown up.
checker sells
My
you a
earpiece
13.
wasn't working. Anyway, so we're drinking this Woodson bourbon. It'll be gone by the end of the episode, and we'll move on to something new. That's
for sure.
the new thing. New thing here at Weighing In with Travis Hartman. We do like to drink bourbon because we're the #1 beards, bourbon, and boxing podcast shot in Orlando, Florida, specifically Laureate Park, specifically in a boxing gym, specifically in the second floor of a boxing gym, shot on a Sunday or Monday. Today is Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. In the world. But also, we do have a new thing that we've decided.
Okay.
That weighing it, we're going to have this special thing. It's called Wednesdays Weighing In with Travis Hartman. We are going to start dropping our podcast episodes on Wednesdays.
All that really means is that we're just going to drop the podcast on Wednesday.
Exactly.
There's
exactly
no
what it means.
special tagline Wednesdays with Weighing In.
I mean, this is true. But you can start looking out for us on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. Maybe this one. I don't know.
We're hoping. Because
this is a Tuesday Tuesday night we're talking right now.
And we're probably going to drink a little bit of our Woodson's.
There's not a lot left.
But we have some more bourbon from past episodes. But Woodson's bourbon whiskey, it's made out of wine barrels, by the way. And he also makes a wine, too.
So let's go back to the heavyweight
let's
fight.
get to boxing.
The father at the age of 13, whose son is now, his son must be what, 13 as well now, or
20,
maybe
I
don't know how old is Dillian Whyte? 30?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. You know
So
what?
70? I don't know.
Give me 2 seconds and I'll tell you.
I don't want to give you 2 seconds. I want to talk about this fight, and that's what people want to hear.
All right, this fight is going to be a good fight, and it's going to happen this weekend, and it's going to be against Dillian Whyte.
He's killing time on
Dillian
boxing, right?
Whyte is the 13th. Or he's 13 years old. Okay, hold on. He's 30 years. No, wait, no.
34 years.
34.
Good Lord.
His kid's 21.
Man.
Or he could be 20, 21,
Maybe
whatever.
his kid's fighting. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. This is insane to me. Like, blows my mind because I've said this stat before. By the way, I have to give shout out to the guy who told me this, who's also from England. His name is Dave Schroeder. He's the one that informed me of this. I'm a boxing aficionado, I like to think. I have a lot of weird facts, and I did not know this one. And this guy knows, Travis, it is. So I started Googling it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's true.
Well, okay. So we're going to
Dave Schroeder, thank you.
So we're going to talk about the
fight.
actual fight. Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte, because we're doing more promo work than either of these guys are doing for the fight.
But Dillian Whyte is doing none.
None.
But you know what? When you're Tyson Fury, you don't have to. He sold like 90,000 seats in like 6 hours to Wembley.
Well, this is my
insane.
This is my fabled King of England matchup that was supposed to happen between him and Anthony Joshua, which obviously that didn't happen. And in retrospect, it's a good thing it didn't happen because Anthony Joshua is not very good at boxing.
Well, he was
a
world champion.
He's not very good. Okay, he just isn't.
Compared.
Let's be honest, people. When you look at the top heavyweights in the world, is he going to be in that? Of course. Can he hold his own in the ring? But when you look at him against a world-class heavyweight boxing champ or a fighter, he just doesn't have the skill.
I mean,
he looks good.
He did
looks
just
great.
lose to a cruiserweight, and now heavyweight Usyk, and they're about to rematch.
But wait, though,
will you reserve that if he beats Usyk in the rematch?
Usyk to me is a little preoccupied with everything else going on geopolitically. So no, I will not. Because from what I've seen of his actual,
But they're not fighting until July.
but what I've seen from it, that's just around the corner. What I've seen
Won't
from
Russia
Anthony
have taken
Joshua,
them over by then?
I think they're just going to settle on like a little bit of the East.
Okay.
At least I've seen. Who knows?
We don't know.
We don't know. We know nothing here, though our media seem to think they know everything. But we know nothing.
This is true.
What
I admit
a
to that.
digression.
Remember my last episode? I said that we started off and I go, you know what I do know is
Nothing.
I don't know shit.
Yeah. That's the one thing I know is that I know
When it comes
nothing.
to that, that's for a fact.
Yeah,
Fact checker, can you fact check that? Do we not know nothing? I don't even think
Something like that.
That's not even proper grammar.
Okay, so Anthony
Back to
Joshua.
the
I don't know why we're talking about Anthony Joshua. That's not even in my notes.
But we should because he should have been in the division, and you were talking about him because Tyson Fury
not very
was
good.
going to fight him for the mega fight, and then
For the King of England, I dubbed it the King of England. Well, that's not the.
it's going to be the mega ball.
This is now
it's the mega ball.
This is now the King of England fight. Really?
I mean,
Really?
but yeah, it shouldn't be because Dillian Whyte lost to Anthony Joshua.
Exactly.
But Dillian Whyte beat Anthony Joshua in the amateurs
Wow.
when they were probably like 13. By the time he was a father, so he had to fight a little
that's a
extra
good
hard.
point. And I mean, he had a lot of pressure on him.
He did. He was like, "I'm supporting a family at 30." Can you imagine that? I became a father at 38. If I became a father at 13, there's a whole different outlook on life.
I know. What was I doing
Holy
at 13? What
shnikes.
grade are you in at 13?
Let's see.
You're
Oh my
8th or
gosh.
9th grade, right? Yeah. My son,
Eighth, probably eighth.
Yeah. My son's 13, and he's 8th going into 9th, and
There you
actually
go.
he turns 14 this week.
So 8th grade.
Eighth
Insane.
grade. Wow.
You're now supporting it. What?
Huh.
No way he supported the
I
child.
knocked my wife up in 8th grade. I
Like-
knew her in 8th grade. I knew her in 6th grade.
I mean,
I have a lot of
I didn't
questions
know
to
you
answer.
could. I didn't know you could at 13.
Well, he's a prime athlete. He's a professional athlete with professional swimmers in there.
Well, now that we've digressed so much,
So much.
we're back to the fight, and you were talking about.
We're the only
Dillian
ones
Whyte.
marketing for this thing.
Yes. Oh, there you go. We're back on track. Okay, you got us. You always bring us back around. You do.
I try.
You have a talent. In
I have a
that.
skill set.
So Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury. But to be fair, it is a dangerous fight still.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this from the get-go. I don't think it's an easy fight for Tyson Fury. I do think if the Tyson Fury that we know shows up, the Tyson Fury that showed up versus Deontay Wilder, all three of those fights, if that Tyson Fury shows up,
Oh, that's bad for.
he annihilates
Yeah, that's bad
Dillian
for
Whyte.
Dillian
He
Whyte.
probably stops him in 6 rounds. But there hasn't been a lot of hype about Dillian Whyte, so I don't know if Tyson Fury is still training with that type of intensity. He's an ultimate professional. He is, but
There's
I know
no
this.
emotion.
There's not, and that's tough.
Yeah. The only emotion that you can see is him claiming over and over again that this is a retirement fight, which we don't believe.
He
But
said that multiple times.
It's almost as if he's trying to create emotion for himself in order to get
Maybe.
really going in this thing because I mean, we're going to see it, we're going to watch it, but are we interested? I'm not super interested in the fight at this point.
I mean, yeah, I am. Just because this Tyson Fury is just, that guy intrigues the crap out of me. Because you know what he does? And people are going to probably kill me for saying this, but he reminds me a lot of Ali. He invokes a lot
sure.
of emotion out of people.
Sure.
That's the meaning that I mean. The footwork, the everything. Tyson Fury is a very good boxer, too. That's the thing. He's 6'9".
Yes.
And he moves like, he does move like
But
Ali,
his
actually.
opponent is one that it seems like he just doesn't care about those antics. It doesn't really, he's not being goaded into anything. So,
But maybe that's their purpose. Maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe Dillian Whyte was like, I don't want to give him any extra.
oh yeah, I bet
like,
that's part of it.
firepower.
I'm
and
sure that's
just gonna
part of
not
it.
Do anything.
But it just the fight's kind of flat at this point.
Yeah. Well, the reason why we're talking about that is because Dillian Whyte decided, as part of this build up to this fight, it wasn't in his contract. He said he wasn't getting paid enough money, so he goes, I am not going to promote this fight. And you know what? He can do whatever he wants because Tyson Fury already, with the name, promoted the fight.
Sure.
They sold the tickets based on Tyson Fury, not Dillian Whyte. So it's not really that big of a deal. But if it comes back in favor of him, just taking that extra edge from Tyson Fury and making Tyson Fury not train as hard because they're not having those face-to-face.
Exactly.
It could work.
Exactly.
We don't know. And it could.
And today's Tuesday, so you have some media stuff going on between now and Saturday anyways. You got the weigh-in, obviously on Friday. So it could be interesting from this point forward, but tonight, while we're filming, so far, there hasn't really been a lot.
No.
So
I
I don't know what else to say about the fight.
I think that everybody should still tune in because there could be some weird fireworks because we haven't seen anything. And one thing that's going to happen for sure is the weigh-ins happen on Friday.
Right.
No matter what. Friday, it'll be Friday morning in American
For
time.
us, yeah.
So Friday afternoon probably. Friday afternoon, Friday morning, Friday late morning, afternoon is when the weigh-ins will happen. Dillian Whyte has to show up to that. So we could see some fireworks there. But I think 100% still Saturday, you're going to have to tune in. This Saturday, I highly, highly recommend tuning in because what have I predicted since April 1st? I said the month of April will be the best month of boxing all year. I stand by it because the Errol Spence Ugas fight absolutely delivered.
Yeah.
The first weekend of April, which showed so many fights, and your favorites, Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy.
Oh, Ryan Garcia. Eh?
Ryan Garcia wasn't necessarily
He's
just
my
him,
favorite soap model.
but he, that night of fights, delivered.
That bastard, he knows how to model the hell out of a soap.
Dude, this kid knows how to sell social media. What?
I just don't get it. Like who is he selling to?
I know social media. It's a
Who's
different
social
age.
Media?
We're like
Who's social media?
He's
Who's
got
on
like 14 million followers on
Who's
Insta.
on there buying that soap? No one's buying that
Yeah,
soap.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't
Them
bought
little
it.
girls that are cheering for him, they're
know
not
what?
buying soap.
Maybe we need to buy that soap and test it out on Weighing In with Travis Hartman on a Wednesday.
Interesting. Well, we would be filming still on a Sunday or a Monday and dropping on a Wednesday.
Drop it like it's hot on a Wednesday.
Drop it like something. So, okay, that's a heavyweight fight. That's coming up this Saturday, April 23rd, Wembley
I'm
Stadium.
predicting a Tyson Fury win.
Well, let's do that in a different video drop.
I mean, no,
Full-on
I'm not.
prediction
No,
on
I'm not.
Friday. Full-on prediction for... Well, listen, I think we're all going to be on the Tyson Fury camp on this victory. But I want more of a specific how he does it. That'll come to you all Friday, okay? I'm on air saying that, so that means you're committed to doing it.
Son of a beasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I try, folks. As the producer, I try to get content. I try to do these things.
Hey,
but
to
this
be fair,
man's
he does.
busy.
To
This
fair, he
man's
does.
busy.
He's messaged me, hey, drop a video, drop an interview, do this, Travis. And to be fair, I see them and I'm trying.
This man is busy. I get it. He's wildly
So are
busy.
you.
I am too. But once I get something that I could edit, I drop everything.
You know what? I'm actually flying to Atlanta at 7 a.m. on Friday.
Good Lord.
But when I land, I'll
Maybe-
do it. I'm going to do it for
Thursday.
Atlanta.
Do it Thursday.
Oh,
and
that's
send
probably
it to me.
smarter.
It'll drop for you all on Friday.
Thursday night, we'll do it. You know, I'll come up here in the podcast studio and I will record an episode.
Okay.
Not an episode. A video.
A video.
Of a Tyson Fury prediction. I can do it. Dillian Whyte, 13 years old. Fact checker, is that correct? 13 years old? Okay, 13.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, he said 13. So we know this for
13.
a fact. 13.
Wow.
Dillian
And
Whyte
his son
was
is
13.
Or his firstborn kid is 21.
His literally his kid can literally drink alcohol and celebrate with Dillian Whyte after he beats Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
If he wanted to.
If you wanted to.
If he beats Tyson
Yeah, I don't
Fury.
even know if they have a relationship anymore. We should try to find that out.
That's actually true, too.
I actually feel bad about that if they don't.
That's actually
At this
very true.
point, they're old enough where they could be friends.
First of all, they should be best friends at this point. They probably do the same stuff.
Yeah.
They're part of the same generation.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Exactly. Like generation.
I'm looking at this though too. Dillian Whyte
Z.
was actually born in Jamaica,
Oh, so he's not. I thought he was.
but he's like, I think he was raised in the United Kingdom though,
Yeah.
because his residence is Brixton, London, United Kingdom. So
Oh, okay.
I believe I've always known him to be from London. So
Well, it's just like I'm not a Floridian. Well, I am, but I
No,
wasn't.
you
I
are.
wasn't born here.
oh, you weren't?
No.
Where were you born from? Where were you born? I did not know that. Tennessee,
No. One of the two worst places in this country that you can be born.
New York,
Nope. The other
California.
one. Yep.
I can't believe I said that's the two I knew.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a Floridian either, but everybody knows that.
Well, true.
Obviously.
True. I moved here when I was 6, so I'm a Floridian.
You're a
I've lived in this Central Florida area since I was 6, almost 7 years old.
I've lived in Florida now. I didn't realize that for like 9 or 10 years, which is how much I've known you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I think I'm practically Floridian.
Practically, yeah.
Practically.
I mean, look at the garb. You got the outfit. You got the weekend Travis. Is that a new one?
It's one of the. That's a throwback.
It's a throw.
But from like season like 1 early, like top 10
Wow.
probably.
When did we start doing that? Or when did you start doing that, I should say?
About then.
I forgot
because
shades.
it is one of my first ones.
I forgot shades. I forgot sunglasses. I was trying to do that. I got
But it's so
nothing.
dark in here now, though. So you keep
That's why I
shades
need the
make it even
shades.
darker.
That's
But you can't see because I'm sitting down. But I also have the matching pants as well. Shorts, not pants, shorts. Because we're in Florida
so okay.
in summer.
All right. Let me get.
I would stand up, but it's tight quarters, and
Let me wrap up the actual detail and the meat of this.
Okay.
And then we can go on the weird stuff that we talk about.
I don't like it how you said
so
I don't like it how you said wrap up meat, but okay.
We're going wrap up meat. Heavyweight fight, Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte. That's going to be April 23rd, this Saturday, Wembley Stadium in the UK. ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Keep in mind, that's going to be earlier in the day for the US watchers. The card starts at 11, or the main card starts at 11, so you're going to probably see
I'm guessing the main event's like 3.
You probably see 3 or 4 o'clock, but tune into the whole thing. Why not? Why
Yeah,
not? Just tune into the whole thing.
I don't know what the undercard fights are.
Is Tommy fighting on that?
Oh, you know,
I think he is.
You know what? Good question, actually. You just
The only reason any of us know Tommy Fury is because of Jake Paul.
This is very true, actually, too. And if you watch any kind of like reality TV shows, he's on there as well. Tommy Fury is.
Like a UK reality show?
Yeah, he did like I can't remember what it was. Was it like I wish I was with the younger generation. I could tell you this, but he was on like there's some popular TV show
Like
with
Big
like
Brother or
dating and
something?
something.
Oh, no.
It's not Big Brother, but it's like a version of them. I can't. It's like
I
it was some
already
dating
lost
show.
interest.
But he was on that.
I already lost interest.
He's a good-looking, handsome dude, but.
All right, so I've already
Here we go.
I've already talked about wrapping up meat. You're talking about handsome dudes.
I'm looking. Okay.
Okay.
We have the undercard is I don't know any of these people, so please forgive me. And Tommy's not on it. We have Isaac Lowe versus Nick Ball. Anthony, I can't pronounce his name, against Jonathan Romero. No, but wait, yes he is. Tommy Fury is fighting Daniel Bozinowski, who is 10-1 in a 6-round fight at light heavy.
In the 6th round?
Yeah, let's see this guy. But he lost his last fight, and he got TKO'd in the 5th round. This Tommy Fury's opponent. So it's not looking like Tommy. But you know what? It'll be his toughest fight to date.
Okay, that's enough airtime for Tommy Fury.
Can Jake Paul and Tommy Fury fight? Because I would watch that.
I would watch it just to say I did.
It's like.
But I'm still not interested in it.
It's like a train wreck, and you drive by. A train
I said
wreck
this
and you can't
month.
stop
Weekend
looking.
Trav. I said this months ago. After Tommy Fury's latest display in the ring, I am not interested in that fight whatsoever.
Yeah, he laid an egg, dude.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, this might be the ultimate egg breaking for his fight. That's enough airtime for Tommy Fury. Okay, so that's this weekend, folks. Weekend Trav.
Yes, sir.
Let's move on to the non-boxing chatter.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Shall we?
What do we got?
I don't know. I don't really have anything.
I mean, what's going on? I do have something.
Oh boy.
I'm flying on Friday.
Okay.
And I was hoping and
excitement.
praying for this. I genuinely was. I should be praying for other stuff like, whatever.
We'll pray for a multitude of things.
I have been.
So that's one thing.
I have been. But the mask mandate from a Florida judge, by the way, in Tampa, a Florida judge who's like 33 years old, 34 years old woman, fact checker, I don't know, but 33 or 34-year-old woman from Tampa, federal judge who, by the way, was appointed by Trump at the end of 2020. Mm-hmm. He rammed her through and got her appointed. But anyway, she's the one that ruled on it because there was a class action lawsuit brought together. I forget who the group was that brought it together. But anyway, she ruled on it, and she ruled that the CDC and the government were overreaching, blah, blah, blah. Masks should not have to be worn in public transportation, airplanes, blah, blah. And guess what? All of the airlines
They were quick.
Because they were pleading with the government
Alaska
already.
Air, and I can't remember the other one. They were the first
United.
to the game.
I think it was United.
I don't remember which one.
Southwest has now done it.
Yes,
Everybody's jumped
they
on
all
board.
have. And so
TSA came and said they're not going to enforce it anymore.
They waited. The airlines waited to see if there would be any pushback to that ruling before jumping on that train. They wanted it gone too.
Everybody did.
The flight attendants, everyone that works on these planes, they wanted it gone as well.
Democrat or Republican,
because they've
doesn't
had
matter.
to deal with some. Listen, if you want to wear that thing, you can still wear it. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
This is what I've said. If people are still so worried, listen. If you've been vaccinated, that's fine. Wear a mask, that's fine. If you want to do all of those things, still do them.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But also, if somebody doesn't want to do them, like let them be. Like stay away from them if you want to. Like who cares? Like you can. If I walk through the airport with no mask on and people steer clear of me, guess what? That's awesome to me because I don't like being around a lot of people in a closed environment.
I've heard some people talking about when you're on a plane, and this is after the COVID stuff. You're on a plane, and when you could tell someone's coughing and hacking, and this. I'm like, it was gross before COVID. It was disgusting. I always thought I was going to get sick on an airplane.
Dude,
before COVID.
People were coughing, sneezing beside me. I swear to God, I would turn to the side and I would put my
Yes.
shirt over my nose
Yes.
for about 5, 10.
Someone sneezing and stuff on an
15
airplane.
seconds, I'd be like, I'm
in
freaked out.
public, and I don't know, I'm not like a germaphobe or anything, but if I'm in a public place, and this is before 2020, or was it 2019? 2020.
2020, yeah.
Before 2020, if someone was sneezing in public, it's gross. I don't want to be around that person.
I'm a low-key germaphobe.
Low-key. Yeah, okay.
Low-key.
But I'm not
try
like
not to
I'm not
make
like a
it-
Purell all the time kind of guy either.
I actually don't like that stuff, but
Well,
I do wash my hands a lot.
Yeah. Do you
Like,
gotta
I
get
actually
on the
ridiculous
fingernails
amount. I
too?
did.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're supposed to sing like the ABC.
What were we doing there?
That's how you get in the corners of the finger, because
The
you're like
corners of
this.
what?
Your fingernails. I do this and I do
Oh.
that in each one. When
Dude,
I was
you
in
just
high
put
school,
soap in your palm and just scratch it.
no, in high school we did this thing. We had this nursing lady, I think it was, to come in and gave us this like some kind of certain soap, and then did like a light over us.
And she was
And
teaching
how-
you to do what?
No. To get the corners, because the places that you miss, it showed on the black light. The places you missed were
Ew.
like right here.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
your
yeah,
nails.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that's why I did this motion, you sicko, not because of your sick thoughts.
I'm not. No. I'm just trying for the watchers, not the listeners, because you could be listening to this on all the various sources: iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes. We have the audio format of this going out there on the podcast. But for the video watchers, I was trying to give a little play-by-play action as to what you are doing with your hands.
You gave a lot play-by-play, but I was also doing a twisting
For the
motion.
audio, tell them
So the index finger.
he was sticking a
I
finger.
made a circle.
Yep.
Here, look, see that?
Yeah, but
Yep,
do it for the audio folks.
So the audio folks, I was sticking my index finger into a little hole in my
He made a fist with the other hand,
and I twisted.
and he was twisting it
But
around.
that is proper way to wash your hands.
You do a
get
finger at a
in the
time?
yeah, I actually do. Like this. No, I'm not exaggerating.
Then
I
how do
really,
you
I
get
really
all?
do.
So you mentioned
No,
like,
so wait, so that wasn't all of it.
Okay.
You just was
Wow, we're
like
learning
throwing
here.
me under the bus.
no.
For my
I'm trying to dig in and get more research.
dig in, literally.
Dig in.
So twist.
Twist.
Each finger, so
Yeah.
10 twists.
10 twists.
Thumb has to do it too, right?
Okay.
And then you go in like this, but also you have to take it individually, like this, like this, between each one. It takes a little time. But also, listen, I deal with a lot of people in the
I
gym.
know you do, yes,
So
I
I'm
know.
touching stuff all the time.
Boxing
so
is
after every
disgusting.
lesson, and I train a lot of
Yeah.
kids, and to be fair, love my younger kids, but if you're a teacher and you teach like elementary school, they'll tell you, they're like, kids are the most disgusting little kids.
See,
They are.
I get it. I'm a track guy, so we just run. Really, I make them
That's
run,
good.
so
You're
we don't
outdoors.
have to touch stuff.
You're outdoors, so you're so
Unless
good.
everyone's shot or discs, and then we touch
You're
implements.
right. You're touching a lot
But
of stuff.
when I'm at the gym myself, I actually enjoy it. I like when I see like the bars, and when you look at the bars that have kind of the etchings, and it's kind of grimy looking. That's all the skin.
You like grabbing that?
the skin ripped
You
off of
would.
people because you're stealing their energy. You're taking their energy that they've left behind.
Weekend Travis throwing up. 'cause
Yeah.
of beat money.
Yeah. Well, Anyway, so we can draft.
That's disgusting.
It is.
But I don't. So I'm a germaphobe, but most people are think I'm crazy, but I don't think. I'm not a big fan of like the Purell and all of those things. I'm a big fan of soap.
Now
Soap.
Now I do clean the stuff after I use it. Okay. My point is that if somebody else hasn't like cleaned the bars, they need to clean the mats. That's gross. But like the dumbbells and stuff, I don't care. I feel like I'm feeding off their energy, but I clean what I use because I don't want someone to take my energy.
Oh.
Not because of cleanliness
like
or
a
health
mental
standard.
thing. It's
Yeah,
like your
absolutely.
mental strength. You're
I'm
like,
there's a
"Oh,
lot
power
of,
through this."
I'm like an onion weekend Trav. Peel back a lot of layers here. There's a lot going on.
And you make me cry.
And I make you cry. So that being said, Weekend Trav, any final thoughts before we wrap this episode up?
I don't know. Fact checker, have we missed anything? We're good. Fact checker says we're good.
Bingo.
So I don't know. We don't have to review facts at this point because one, we are a very honest news outlet, boxing news outlet.
Yeah.
We have not said any falsehoods.
No.
Have we?
Not really.
No. But we've also said some opinions. So
We give our
anything
opinions.
that's
We
false
should.
was very opinionated.
We're not here to just give facts. We give our opinions.
That's the thing. That is the thing. We have to separate. That's the perfect segue into that. We have to talk about things that we're opinionated.
Yeah.
We're not passing off as facts, but sometimes we do say facts.
Sometimes we do.
In our opinions,
in order to
there is
in
some
order
facts.
to prove our opinions.
There you go. See? So,
Yeah.
But for the most part, I have drank a lot of Woodson whiskey,
We need to
bourbon,
finish that anyways. Yep.
and I feel really good.
Yep.
And I think this episode's been really good.
Yep.
And I think boxing is going to be the best it's ever been this year in this month of April.
Top that off.
And I swear, if anybody, listen, I hope, you know what? I forgot about this. Hold on. It is, what's today's date? It is April
gonna do the month.
19th,
He's going to do the best month ever.
2022, and it was not a robbery.
We're still talking about that,
Josh
right?
Taylor was not a
Jeez.
robbery.
That's not going to get any hits, buddy. So stop. Just stop.
These people, they don't know what they've been messing with. It's not a robbery. Okay, go ahead. The whole month of April, I'm going to do it.
Just say it now, and I'll get to my
I
piece,
already
and then
did.
we'll.
I
and
did.
then
I
we'll
finished. I'm
okay,
done.
you done?
I'm
Final
I'm
thoughts
done.
are over.
No, that was not my final thought.
Do you the final thought? Good lord.
I don't know if I have a final thought.
Okay. Then
So
you're
I'm
done.
gonna need you to wrap this up.
Okay,
Put a bow on
so
it.
what I will say is this: I wanted to give a shout out really quick to my former track athlete. One of these, he's now an adult, obviously. Mark Calantes. He has this brand here, Mark Your Health. The shirts are really comfy, actually.
MYH.
Mark Your Health. You can find him. We tag him on some stuff on Instagram and other things. So,
Comfy shirt, for real.
thank you so much. That's good material. Mark Calantes doing good stuff.
I appreciate the shirt, bro.
Golf instruction. He does gym instruction, some things like that. He's a teacher as well, but he does some amazing things. And so just want to give him props. Once again, one of my former athletes from when I coached him while he was in high school, but now he's a grown-ass man.
I feel like, but I also feel like that
I'm old.
I'm leaving something out because B Money has so many talents, but B Money has recently become a registered USA Boxing amateur coach.
Not officially. I still have a training thing I have to do.
He passed the background check. Now he has to do a safe sport. If
that's-
anybody is around that does any sports,
The
they
hard
know
part,
you have to do that.
Hard part is getting through that background check.
He's gonna pass the safe sport too. He's good. So that's what I'm giving it to. USA Boxing certified safe sport. This man is the man.
I've been a USA Track and Field Level 1 certified coach for a long time. I've
There you
coached
go.
youth sports forever. I've been
But now you're in the
I've
boxing
coached
realm.
championship level track athletes. I know what I'm doing. Okay, so but boxing realm, I don't. I'm only known for holding a spit cup and a stool.
You're also a professional boxing second.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Licensed
That's what I did.
in the state of Texas.
Yep. I wasn't.
We got to get you in Florida now.
I was hoping that at one point you'd say, "Cut me, Mick."
Come in, Mick.
But that didn't come about. So, anyways, that's it. That's what my final thought was. Did you finally come up with your final thought? The show's disintegrating as we speak, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I think so. I think. I don't know.
Okay,
What if something comes up? If something comes
This
up,
is
I can.
embarrassing.
If something comes up, I might have to
Our
say that.
fact checker, our guest in studio, this is embarrassing.
He's not even
now.
stopping
This
us.
is
So
embarrassing.
the fact checker is supposed to stop us, and he hasn't stopped us as
So
well. So
I am
we're
going.
doing well.
I'm going to close up episode 76, weighing in with Travis Hartman.
Put a bow on it.
Okay. Thank you once again, media partners, IF Enterprises, Gulfstream Financial, and TH Boxing. As always, we appreciate your media support. Weekend Trav, that's it for me. So I'm just going to do it. That there is Weekend Trav.
That there is B Money. That there is Dietrich, our fact checker, as well. Amen. God bless. Hallelujah.
All right. God bless.